Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes and I'm playing Exanima, and in this Lesson 6, I'm going to be going over all of the close combat skills that you can get in the game currently. Now, I'm not going to be going over the armor or shield related skills. They're all pretty self-explanatory. Some make you move, some make you block a little bit better, some make you ignore small hits. They're all really self-explanatory. The close combat skills are so subtle in the game that it's hard to understand how they actually work. It took me a little bit of time to figure out how to make them work, how to use them efficiently, and use them to win each of my fights. So we're going to go over each one, and then we're going to show an example of each one in combat. So the first one that I'm going to go over is Riposte. After a parry, rapidly follow with an attack. Basically, what this means in terms of Exanima related gameplay is when you parry, you have the ability of striking faster after you parry. That's all it means. Now, as you can probably tell, a character with very little skill compared to a character with a lot of skill, there isn't that much of a gap between it, other than the fact that they can be able to react faster to certain things and to attack after, say, for Riposte. If they parry, they're going to be attacking you a lot faster if you don't have Riposte. So if you parry something, it's going to take a good second and a half to be able to start swinging again. But for them, it's more of like a quarter of a second to swing after parrying. You have Remise, which allows you to swing both to the right or from the right, then from the left by just holding the key down. I'll show you an example of that. And then Fend allows you to abandon your attack quickly to parry. So this is kind of basically what a feint is, but Fend is more if you're going the defensive route. Where feint is more if you stop your swing, you can then restart your swing after letting go of the button a lot faster. And of course, dual wield is pretty self-explanatory. It allows you to equip two weapons at the same time. So we're going to go into a fight, and I'm going to show you how each one of these works. So as was mentioned earlier, all of these skills are very subtle, so it may be hard to see in combat, but I'll try my best to explain as we go along. So Riposte allows you to quickly attack after a successful parry. So I parried, I can attack soon after, like within like a quarter of a second. Where if you don't have Riposte, it will take about like a second and a half to be able to swing again. Riposte is very useful if you're using a larger weapon against a character that is using maybe a shorter weapon or a faster weapon. So let's try that again. Let's get a nice parry in there. And I can swing soon after. So against a higher level character, it may seem like they're moving a lot faster than you. It just means that they have these skills. Alright, the next skill, which is really useful for if you have a short range weapon, is called Remise. And as you can see right there, I was able to do two swings, a left bound and a right bound attack. Now, Remise is a little bit confusing because once you pick it, you're like, why am I not attacking twice? Like, where's my attack? I get my attack in, and I'm not getting a second attack. Well, Remise requires you to hit perfectly to be able to hit twice or miss. It's kind of strange, but let's go ahead and try to do a Remise, and let's try to get away from this guy. This guy's like all over me. Come on, buddy. So there I go. I missed, and I was able to do a left-bound attack, and then a right-bound attack. So I missed with the first hit, and I hit pretty hard with the second hit, knocking down my opponent. Hitting twice with Remise is very difficult, but it can be done. So let me see if I can get it against this inept character here. So let's see. So what you need to do is you need to be able to hit perfectly with your first swing to be able to continue with your second swing of Remise. To do that, you got to be able to hit him where the momentum or the either a parry or your character or your opponent's body doesn't impede the swing of your weapon. So there's a Remise right there. Didn't hit on either one of them. Hit with the second one of that Remise. Like I said, it's very difficult to hit it, but if you can hit the guy in the face and the person's body does not impede your weapon, you can hit a second time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It's extremely difficult to do. So you can see right there that his body impeded the swing of my weapon, which made the reprise not follow through. So right there, I got my first hit, but I missed with the second. There we go. We got 2 hits in. Unfortunately, I knocked the guy out with the first hit. But as you can see, is if you swing perfectly and you get the exact range that you need to be from your opponent, your weapon will not get impeded by either their face or their body or their weapon. So you have the ability of swinging twice to really do a tremendous amount of damage in a successive amount of hits. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Fend. So both Fend and Feint require some understanding of how to stop your attack mid-swing. Now, if you were, see as I just kind of hit the left key, left mouse button, and I was able to start a swing. If I let go, before halfway, my character will stop his attack. So you can kind of do this kind of raising your sword and starting to do a feint. If you click and then you let go mid-swing. Now, what Fend allows you to do is to be able to parry soon after doing a feint. I was able to parry that one. So it gives you more control over your defensive actions while performing an offensive action. So right there, I parried again after feinting. There we go. So that's basically how Fend works. The way feint works is that if you restart your swing after feinting. Let's see if I can do this. Obviously not. So if you were to feint, it's going to take you a little bit of time to restart a new swing if you don't have feint. But if you do have the ability to feint, you can do your feint and then attack soon afterwards. Which it's not really all that useful against NPCs, but I would imagine once multiplayer gets put into the game, which I hear is relatively soon, maybe a couple months or so, this will be really useful for getting people set up to either defend properly or kind of expose them to an attack. So right there, I was able to do a feint and then attack soon afterwards. Almost got him. So let's see if I can successfully feint here. There was kind of a feint, but both of these abilities are relatively hard to achieve against the AI. But you can see right there, he was basically trying to zone me while I was quote attacking, and which allowed me to kind of pull my punch, and then once he zoned, his left side was exposed to me, allowing me to do a left-bound slash against his belly, which brought him down really quickly. Alright folks, so this is Johnnyonoes, and I've been playing Exanima. We went over all 4 of the close combat abilities. We didn't go over two-handed because two-handed is pretty self-explanatory, but we went over Riposte, which allows you to attack soon after parrying. We went over Remise, which allows you to attack twice in succession, as long as your swing is not impeded by either a parry or too much of your opponent's body. You can fend by starting an attack and then ending it and getting quickly back into position to parry, as well as feint, which allows you to attack soon after doing your feint. Alright folks, thank you so much for watching, and the next episode is going to be all about body manipulation. It's just a fun one. Alright, see you all in the next episode.